Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
Okay. This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Last time I spoke to the miracle man, Daniel Jacobs, you told me across Zoom around summertime that you wanted Gabe Rosado. That fight happens this Friday night.
Yeah.
Is that because he has managed to get under your skin a little, Danny?
A little bit, well, mostly that, but also I feel like this whole COVID experience has, forced us to not have the best training that we would have liked. And so for me, coming out of this situation, almost being outside the ring for a year, I feel like he's a perfect opponent that I can still get in there with, get acclimated. And I don't project I'll have rust, but at the same time, I do want to be able to go in there and fight a guy like this and go on my immediate fight after and fight the top dogs of the middle and super middleweight division.
So you believe because you haven't been in a situation where you can best prepare and he's half talked himself into the fight that he's the perfect opponent?
100%. 100%. I mean, I live in Atlanta, so Atlanta was spiking high in cases, and it was even hard to travel and, get my training out in places because of just the whole world state. It was a very dangerous situation. So I try my best to give as much as I can. But at the same time, if you don't have your team, your training that you normally used to, how are you going to make progression? And so I just felt like the last 11 months, I was able to have my team come out and get the best training. But at the same time, being outside of the ring for a year, I just felt like this was the perfect opponent.
When you did that Zoom call with Gabe and Eddie Earn, what did you make of his comments where he was suggesting he's got this fight because he's a big draw and that you haven't just chose him?
It's laughable every time because it's not to take anything away from what he offers or his past fights or his heart and his grit, because he has that. But at the same time, there's also levels. And, I've been criticized a lot for even taking this fight. But at the same time, I know that it's still going to make for a great show. But it is not because of who he is, or it is not because of, what he does and his star power or me having him on my resume, because I could have fought easily the division. And so me choosing him, I thought that it was weird that he would say something like to the effect of, I'm choosing him because of me wanting Gabe Rosado on my resume. I mean, yeah, I want to hurt this man. Yeah, I want him eat his words for all the disrespectful things that he said to me as a man. And I have that opportunity because as fighters, that's where we settle our differences, in the ring. But at the same time, I don't feel like a win over him would really catapult me in any way. I mean, I'm in a position right now, even if I didn't take him as an opponent, I'm still in a position to get a world championship opportunity.
What about if you stopped him, though? As you mentioned, Gabe Rosado, very tough man, very durable. And if you want to get yourself back in them Canelo, Golovkin fights, etc., if you went out and put on a punch-perfect display, even stopped Gabe Rosado, that would make a statement, though, wouldn't it, Danny?
I mean, that's up to the boxing public, the boxing critics. Me personally, would it make a statement for me? I don't really feel so, because I feel like he's been stopped before. I feel like maybe not knocked out cold. I mean, maybe that'll give me bragging rights, but I don't think it'll, catapult me in any type of way, because it's projected from the public peers that this is what is the odds, 30-1 or something like that? I don't know. And it's not to brag, but it kind of is what it is. But at the same time, I'm just looking to go out there and give a great show with a guy who I know is very durable, who's going to put on a valiant effort. And, he's valuing that his new training team, Freddie Roach, is showing him certain things that he's never seen before. So this is my second time going against Freddie Roach. We'll see what happens.
I feel like Gabe's made out that you're an average fighter. He says you don't have blistering speed. Your punch power is okay. He's referred to you being as boring as well.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you want to shut him up because of what he said to you about personal things and the bragging rights, but also because he's trying to picture you as an average fighter.
Yes, he is. And I think see, here's the thing. You can say things as far as like how you feel about me as a fighter. But when you make up things and fabricate like I'm not an entertaining fighter, and, I think his whole claim to fame was I don't put asses in seats, excuse my French, but, that's to no fault of my own. I'm a fighter. A fighter's job is to train hard, go out and give the best performance that he could. And so he's saying that I don't even want to talk about all that he's saying. You guys know what he was saying. At the end of the day, my job is to go out there and do my best. And there's a skill set difference between us both. Gabe Rosado is, in my opinion, a gatekeeper. He's a good gatekeeper, and he's a durable one, and he puts some value and effort, ones that most boxing fans appreciate. Like, he has a good story. He doesn't come from a extensive amateur background, and he's able to be in these top fights and give some of these top challengers and champions a good show. For me, it's like you can still have that, but just don't discredit what I've done, because what I've done is on a whole nother level than what you ever obtained.
Danny, of course, your focus is this Friday night and beating Gabe Rosado, but us fans will want to see and imagine what you do next. So, of course, it's a huge fight to end the year with your former opponent, Canelo-Alvarez and Canelo-Smith. 2 questions here. How do you think that fight goes? And secondly, do you want the winner of that fight, Daniel?
I would love the winner of that fight, but I feel like the winner would be the best man. And this is boxing. No one ever knows in a situation where you have both guys in their prime. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to be watching, obviously, with an invested eye, but I also have a mark to make come Friday night and after this. So if I can put myself in a position to either fight the winner of that or put myself in a position to fight for a world championship in general, that's what I'm going after.
And let's say that fight doesn't come up for you next, the winner of Canelo and Canelo-Smith. Of course, in the UK, we have another 68 champion in Billy Joe Saunders.
Billy Joe, yeah.
Goes up against Martin Murray next Friday night. Is that a fight that, again, obviously it's a world title on the line, but Billy Joe Saunders, a quality operator as well. Is that a fight that gets your juices going as well, Danny?
Oh, 100%. I mean, for years I've been calling out Billy Joe, and I guess I've been quiet because the last year or two, because, he has never said anything back, that's to no avail. We've been very adamant about fighting Billy Joe, even when we was at middleweight division. And so I felt like he avoided me for a long time. I just got kind of tired of calling him out. But, as a champion, I feel like, there's only going to be so many ways that you can avoid a fighter, especially if I'm putting myself in position and we have the same management, the same promotion, just the same promotion. I feel like it's only right. And, if I have that opportunity, I'll go for it as well.
Okay, so you feel like he's avoiding you?
Oh, 100%.
Would you have a message for Billy Joe Saunders then, if that's the case?
No message. No message. I would say best of luck to him next week. Best of luck to Martin Murray. May the best man win. But my focus is really on Gabe Rosado next week, or the end of this week. And what's after that, for me, it's just really, what my promotion has for me. But I have guys on my mind that I would love to fight, for sure.
But the main thing is this fight has got your juices going, perhaps for different reasons. If it were a Golovkin or a Canelo or a Billy Joe, it's still got your juices going, and hopefully 100%. We see a good Danny Jacobs on Friday night.
100%. Yeah, no, it does. And I'm looking forward to giving the fans a great show, because he's that good Rocky feel that just keeps coming after he gets battered, and, it makes for a good fight. And, with his last fight with Zaleski, people counted him out, and he went down a few times, and he almost stopped Celeste coming back. So, it serves as a great fight, and I'm just happy to be blessed to have these opportunities to still give the fans entertaining fights.
Well, Danny, before we go, you might not have a message for Billy Joe Saunders, but do you have a message for Gabe Rosado ahead of Friday night? Have you got something to say to him?
My message is going to be inside the ring. I'm done talking. I'm not even the guy to go back and forth as much as I have with this fight. This has been a very awkward build up, because yeah, it's personal, but at the same time, it's like, that's not even my forte. That's not my MO. I'm not a guy who like to talk trash. I respect my opponent because of what all fighters have to go through when they step in the ring. But when you're blatantly disrespected, like the disrespect I've been receiving, I had to stand up for myself as a man. And I think as fighters, we settle our differences inside the ring, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Well, it's not long to go till you can send him that message on Friday night, live on DAZN. Danny Jacobs, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV.
Oh, thank you very much.
Best of luck on Friday night, champ. All right?
Thank you. Bye.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.